He was the brightest star in the Emperor's sky, the favored son, the War Master. But ambition and betrayal would twist Horus Lupercal into something far darker. This is the rise and fall of the greatest traitor the galaxy has ever known. Horus Lupercal was one of the 20 Primarchs, genetically engineered sons of the Emperor of Mankind. His pod crashed onto the savage world of Cathonia, a planet blanketed in perpetual dusk and decay, where hive cities were stacked like tombs upon one another and ruled by gang warfare. Raised in the heart of these violent ruins, Horus quickly adapted. He rose above the pitiless criminals and killers of Cathonia, driven by a natural charisma and a raw, magnetic intellect. When the Emperor finally found him, first among all the Primarchs, the reunion was more than just familial. In Horus Rising by Dan Abnett, it is said that Horus viewed the Emperor as both father and divine ideal. Their bond was legendary. In a private exchange with Loken, Horus said,
"He is like a father to me. I would die for him without hesitation."
Under the Emperor's guidance, Horus was elevated to command the Luna Wolves, and soon after earned his place as the spearhead of the Great Crusade. His victories were decisive. His leadership was charismatic. He had a way of making even lesser warriors feel invincible by his side. His every move, every order, was carried out with precision and belief. After the grand campaign on Luminor, in a battle fought beneath a blood-red sky that was constantly churned by dust storms and orbital fire, the Emperor named Horus the War Master. The atmosphere of the moment was thick with pride and tension. As described in Horus Rising, the other Primarchs reacted with stoic indifference or concealed bitterness. Rogaldorn gave a curt nod and muttered,
"We serve."
Others, like Perturabo, stared at the ground in silence. But Horus beamed. The joy, the honor, and the pressure weighed equally on him. He stood before legions and felt invincible. Yet inside, cracks began to form. Behind the veil, darker forces schemed. Erebus of the Word-Bearers, eyes always gleaming with hidden malice, infiltrated Horus's inner circle with poisoned words and subtle manipulations. As seen in The Flight of the Eisenstein by James Swallow, Erebus introduced Horus to the warrior lodges, secret societies that promoted loyalty to brothers over the Emperor.
It binds warriors in brotherhood beyond legion and beyond law,
Erebus whispered, cloaked in shadows. The turning point came on Davin. The climate of the moon was fetid and thick with disease. Mists hung low across its swampy plains. There, Horus was struck down by the Anathem, a cursed blade infused with chaos. The wound festered beyond mortal comprehension. He slipped into a death-like trance. His body was placed within the Serpent Lodge, where Erebus and the Davinite priests chanted dark litanies. As told in False Gods by Graham McNeil, Horus's spirit was drawn into the warp. There, he saw visions of a twisted imperium ruled by a god emperor who had abandoned his sons. The Chaos God Sensi, formless, eternal whispered promises into his mind.
He will rise as a god and leave you behind. He will betray you.
In this unreal realm, Horus felt betrayal, shame, rage. The sense of abandonment burned hotter than any weapon. When he awoke, the man who had once wept with loyalty was gone. In his place was a war master with a new vision: liberation from tyranny, forged through war and fire. Istvan III was the beginning. The loyalist elements of several legions were deployed under false pretenses. The planet's air was thick with chemical fogs when Horus unleashed the Life Eater virus. Galaxy in Flames by Ben Counter shows Loken, coughing in the rot-filled atmosphere, screaming into the Vox.
"We are betrayed by our own brothers!"
The betrayal did not end there. At Istvan V, 3 loyalist legions walked into a trap. The Drop Site Massacre, the Iron Hands, Salamanders, and Raven Guard were ambushed by their brothers. On a blackened plain, under stormlit skies, Ferrus Manus, stared into the eyes of his childhood friend, Fulgrim.
This is madness, Fulgrim! You are my brother!
He shouted, sword raised high just moments before Fulgrim struck him down. Each battle blackened Horus's soul. His armor became adorned with warp-infused etchings. His eyes glowed with cold, unnatural power. He was no longer just a general, he was a prophet of destruction. In the first Heretic by Aaron Dembski-Bowden, the Chaos Gods boast,
"The War Master belongs to us now."
and indeed he did. Horus began reshaping the legions, forging the Black Legion from the ashes of the Luna Wolves. His voice grew crueler. His smile became a mask. His heart, once open and warm, turned to iron. The Siege of Terra was the endgame. The skies above Terra darkened with warp storms. Ash fell like snow. The walls of the Imperial Palace trembled as Titans and demon engines marched upon them. Within the sanctum of the throne room, the Emperor sat motionless, his will stretched across 1,000 battlefronts. Then came the final duel aboard the Vengeful Spirit. The corridor leading to Horus's throne was littered with broken marble, crushed helms, and blood-streaked banners. Horus stood towering, monstrous, and resplendent in twisted warplate. Sanguinius, bleeding and broken, lay at his feet. The Emperor appeared. There was silence between father and son. In the end, in the death by Dan Abnett, the Emperor's thoughts are filled with regret.
You were my greatest failure.
They fought. Reality cracked around them. The warp screamed. Despite Horus's immense power, the Emperor hesitated. He wanted to save his son. But when Horus inflicted a mortal wound upon him when he laughed, triumphant and savage, the Emperor unleashed his full might. The blast of psychic energy obliterated Horus's soul. There was no trace left, no redemption, no resurrection. He was simply gone. But the cost was unbearable. The Emperor, mortally wounded, was interred in the Golden Throne. Humanity entered the Age of Darkness. In the end, Horus was both hero and villain, victim and betrayer. His fall was the fall of a dream shattered into 1,000 years of war. Subscribe for more in-depth Warhammer for OK lore. Next, we reveal the truth behind the Emperor's birth and the 1,000-year plan to save mankind.